Very fast.
How do we fix the offense in addition to fixing the offensive line? We'll discuss coming up next on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Jay. So in addition to fixing the offensive line or finding 5 guys that you feel really, really good about, getting Nick Anderson and Andrell Anthony healthy and up and running, what do you think Oklahoma could do to improve its offensive efficiency?
Honestly, the bigger thing that I feel like we could really do is, at this point, I mentioned it before, Seth Luttrell needs to be the quarterback of this team. Look at it the way that the NFL does it, right? One thing that I've seen, I've actually heard some players and coaches mention this before, that the offensive coordinators or the head coaches, who's the guy that's running the offense, like a Kyle Shanahan, a Sean McVay, etc., they've always set up the offense in certain plays to where it's very easy for the quarterback, as in it's a designated, you hike it, you look this direction, and you throw this direction because this guy's most likely going to be open. That is your play. Basically making it to where the quarterback doesn't have to think as much sometimes, right? As they're trying to evaluate what the defensive sets are going to be and the way that the teams switch things up. They give them plays that are basically scripted, and this is what you're going to do. We need to fully go all in on that with Jackson Arnold for now. We need to get his confidence up. And I'm telling y'all that because, yes, it would sound cool to have some packages with Michael Hawkins. I think that will be helpful as well. But I promise you this, I do not see a situation where if you bench your quarterback, bring in a freshman who's never started the collegiate level, so basically just starting back over what we were dealing with before, and thinking that with the way this offensive line has shifted so much that he's going to be successful instantly. Remember, Jackson Arnold has 3 starts in his career, right, John? He has 4 centers that he's dealt with. 7 different conversions of the offensive line he's gone through, but he's had 4 different centers in three starts. That's a lot. If you really think about it, right? When George Stoya from Sooner Scoop posted it, I'm just like, wait, how do you mathematically? Oh yeah, the injury that happened in the week 1, and you still got 2 centers that made 2 centers down because Everett was 1, and yeah, he's gone through a lot of centers already.
Right.
We have just been bitten by the injury bug, and I told you, attrition is one key thing. But John, when I look at that, scripted plays, not just the scripted plays we saw that were vanilla, actually telling them where to go every single time, I think that would help. What do you think we need to do offensively to, I guess, fix this massive problem that we have?
Yeah, I think if you can make some things simple, I think that'd go a long way. And I'm not talking about the Deion Burks coming across the backside of the formation and pitching it to him to try and get some easy yardage. No, let's not do that on 1st and 10 on the first play of the game and lose 6 yards. Please not. Kind of do what they did for Donovan Smith. You don't have an offensive line that's capable of creating a lot of, push in the run game. Try to get some cheap and easy yards. I think they were getting some of that going with Deion Burks in the passing game, a lot of the short passing options that they were doing. And I think that really helped. But you kind of need to do more of that, I guess. And you need to do, as much as I hate the wide receiver screen a lot of times, use Brendan Thompson's speed, use Deion Burke's speed, get him on those bubbles and those tunnel screens, and see if you can get some chunk and easy yardage as an extension of the running game. Use more draw plays. Listen, I don't want to run Jackson Arnold to death, but the quarterback power, the quarterback draw is an effective part of this offense. So let's use it more. Let's use it more than just a 3rd and 11 situation. If you I don't want there to be, 4th and 1 and you're always leaning on Jackson Arnold to run the Jack Dozer package or whatever. But in spots, it can be more effective, and you can use that to your advantage. And then you can play off of that. You can use, fake quarterback power and then hit Bauer Sharp or Jake Roberts coming over the top a little bit. You can, sequence your plays where you're building off that. Use more play action. Get the ball out faster on not just RPOs, but just some designed quick slants, things like that, where he's not like on the 3rd, I think it was like a 3rd and 10 play. He threw a quick slant to Deion Burks and, only picked up like 5 or 6 yards. Do that on 1st down, throw that quick slant on 1st down. and get those quick 5 or 6 yards and set yourself up for a better second down. If the run game is not going to be more effective, then use the quick passing game. Go back to that air raid style of passing where you're just dinking and dunking all down the field. And then eventually you pull people in, and then you can hit them over the top with a few things. So the other thing I would mention, and then I'll let you touch on this, is use more 2 tight end sets, use more 3 tight end sets. You got injuries to your wide receiver group. Utilize Jake Roberts, utilize Bauer Sharp, get Cade McIntyre and Caden Helms in the game a lot more, and just be heavy. Run heavier packages as you wait for your wide receiver room to get more healthy.
Right. And I know that we're running basically a modified version of Jeff Lebby's offense. And the reason why we're running a modified version of Jeff Lebby's offense is because this is the similar version of offense that Jackson Arnold ran when he was at Denton Guyer. So look at it this way. The guy that system that Jackson Arnold ran for 2 to 3 years in high school, he's basically running a similar system right now. Different terminology, but right now. The big problem is that it looks like he's trying to be out there. We said before last show, he's trying to be perfect. So he's trying to find the player when they're wide open without realizing at the collegiate level, you still got to throw dudes open.
Yep.
You're not going against fully inferior talent. Yes, Temple was bad. Houston was bad. They're both also Division I programs with kids that were considered in the top 1% of their high school. So they're still playing with good players that may not be Oklahoma good or Clemson or Georgia or Alabama, right? Or Ohio State, etc. But they're still good teams, right? They're not Penn State good, but they're good. So you still need to actually recognize how you got to throw the ball on them. Same thing with the Houston players. And now, especially with Tulane, because Tulane be pulling in some players from Louisiana. And be honest, they have some talent. We saw what Willie Fritz and how much hell he gave us for 2 years when we played against them, right, in the regular season, John. We got to figure out how we can make sure that we're making it easy for Jackson. And the biggest thing, I still will live and die by this. Teams understand that this Lebby offense allows for you to stretch the defense with all of those wide receivers that are fast and agile and strong. So they're going to play back. They're not dumb. They're not going to give up the deep pass. So just keep, like you said, dinking and dunking nonstop. I like 8-minute possessions. Personally, I like if you can't get the run going the way you want and you just dump it down and get 5 yards here, 4 yards here, 7 yards here, keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain because at some point the defense is going to come up, and guess what you do at that point? Play action, RPO setup, launch it deep, throw the deep slant, and somebody's going to book it. We just got to find a way to get everybody's hands on the ball that needs it quickly and let them get going. I know Jackson Arnold's used to tempo. He'll be all right without it. Or if you start seeing success, keep running a little tempo. But I just need us to get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Yeah, and I really just want him to sling it. Like, quit worrying about being perfect. Quit worrying about the turnovers. Just go play football, bro. Like, don't worry about it. You're a good quarterback. You've got all the talent in the world. Go sling the freaking ball around.
We saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it. Oh, John, I got a question for you. This just came to my mind just now. Should we have him change his number back to 10? Because it feels like since he went to 11, we're starting to see a different version. Because in that bowl game, I don't care about the mistakes he made in that game. He looked good when he got comfortable. And that was a makeshift offensive line of a bunch of guys that are no longer with the program. He went out there and looked comfortable. When he was really driving, he was driving. When he was passing, he was making changes. He looked good. We've seen him make changes on plays. We've seen him make adjustments. We've seen him execute. Should he go back to number 10, John? I'm asking the question now. I'm asking the tough ones here.
Hey, why not? Find whatever works. Just switch with Bauer Sharp and just make it work. Whatever works. Just all the positive mojo, all the positive juju for Jackson Arnold. We got a really interesting question from the Locked On Sooners Insider program that you can subscribe to, 405-817-6711. You'll get 2 weeks free. Text Sooners to 405-817-6711 to get 2 weeks free in the Locked On Sooners Insider program. You can send us topics for the show ideas, show questions, and we will answer them here. We had a great one from our buddy Lamont Rogers we'll discuss coming up next, as well as some important news and notes that came through Sooner Nation on Monday. We'll discuss coming up next.